Hi everybody, I'm Jack and this is Raw Tropical Living. We're going to get away from food a little bit today and we're going to talk about something that I've been talking about for some time now, but now I'm finally getting to it, and that's the breath. Now I practice yoga, so I've been studying and reading about pranayama practice, and most people within in yoga will recommend that you begin pranayama practice, which is the breathing. Prana means breath or life force. So for pranayama practice, most people will recommend that you actually study your pranayama or the breathing under a teacher, because there's a bunch of different breaths that are recommended within the yogic breathing system. So I've been thinking about this. I've been going back and forth. I really want to start my pranayama practice as part of as part of a complete yoga practice. And I thought I would share some of this the way I'm doing it starting today, just because the general information I think is good for people whether you're interested in yoga or not. Because to be quite honest, I think the breath is actually probably more important than the food. We're not really breathing, most of us, me included. I sit in bad positions, I have bad posture at certain times, especially when I'm sitting working, and we're not getting that full breath that we were born with. That if you watch babies, how do you think a baby can scream for so long? They just have that lung capacity, that we're born with that natural lung capacity, and we forget how to breathe. So I decided, until I find a good app. I'm doing my yoga. I'm doing some yoga on my own with Kino McGregor now, who is the Ashtangini. And until I find an app or something that'll help me with the proper pranayama breathing, I'm just going to take some time each day, or as much as possible, to do some deep breathing on my own. So I thought I'd share a little bit of that with you, and I thought I'd also share a little bit of the reasoning behind why the breath. Now this is yogic, and this might be a little, too much for some of you scientific folks, but I think there's still some practical stuff in there, even though this is a little bit more. The number of breaths of every living being in this world are predetermined. Once they are complete, it has to quit. Those who feel they should not leave should preserve the same number of breaths for a longer period. That is, with pranayama, they should reduce the number of breaths every day and remain healthy, breathing as minimal as possible. Once one acquires control over the vital energy, respiration continues at a slow pace, almost unconsciously. The yogis too attain the superconscious state, samadhi, in the same way, controlling the vital energy and prolonging the predetermined breaths even for several centuries. Well, I don't know about that, but I do believe that we can greatly enhance our health and prolong our longevity by breathing. But let's look at a little bit more of the practical aspect. And this, I just wanted to give some general stuff, not the yogic stuff, so I decided, I Googled and I looked through a bunch of articles until I found one I liked, and I will put the link down below. This is just some general stuff on breathing. Deep breathing exercises stop disease and extend lifespan. Breathing exercises should be taught to every medical student and healthcare practitioner. After all, our lives depend on it, plus the scientific evidence is overwhelming. Breathing exercises can save lives. Arguably the most important aspect of mental and physical health and well-being is the respiratory process. How our lives are connected to cellular oxygenation. It is true that oxygen is absolutely essential for all human function. In fact, the primary homeostatic mechanism in the human body is designed around necessitating appropriate cellular oxygenation. The respiratory and cardiovascular systems provide and properly distribute oxygen to the cellular mitochondria, where it serves as the terminal electron receptor in the oxidative phosphorylation process and formulation of cellular ATP. Okay, that one wasn't really, that's a little scientific, that's a little the nerdies there. The connection between oxygen and disease. The world famous Dr. Arthur Guyton theorized that all chronic pain, suffering, and diseases are caused from a lack of oxygen at the cellular level. Lack of cellular oxygen is termed hypoxia. Hypoxia has been implicated in central nervous system pathology and a number of disorders including cancer, heart disease, stroke, and various other neurodegenerative diseases. Among other diseases, regions of low oxygen tension are commonly found in malignant tumors and are associated with increased frequency of tumor invasion and metastasis. Now here he talks about breathing and lifespan. Does your breathing determine your lifespan? Dr. Schoenemann actually found in a long-term study that lung function predicts mortality rates. He explains the lung is a primary defense organism against environmental toxins. It could be that impaired pulmonary function could lead to decreased tolerance against these toxins. Researchers have also speculated that decreased pulmonary function could underlie an increase in oxidative stress from free radicals. And we know that oxidative stress plays a role in the development of many diseases. Dr. Wendell Hendricks, two-time Nobel laureate winner of the Nobel Prize for Cancer Research, Hendricks Research Foundation said, cancer is a condition within the body where the oxidation has become so depleted that the body cells have degenerated beyond physiological control. And also, what I'm talking about, how we've forgotten how to breathe. Does chest breathing cause disease? Effective and efficient oxygenation of the cells, tissues, and organs of our body is an absolute energy necessity. Our respiration cycles are governed by the autonomic nervous system. When your body is under stress, you tend to take short, shallow breaths. Because these breaths only penetrate into the upper portion of the chest and lungs, they are called chest breaths. This reduces your body's ability to effectively oxygenate. This is appropriate in order to increase respiratory rate when you are under stressful situations, like being chased by a lion or sprinting on a track. However, when it continues for an extended period of time, it sets up the pathological processes described earlier. Several studies have shown that heart disease, depression, anxiety, and chronic pain patients have an intimate relationship with persistent, shallow chest breathing behaviors. Several researchers have suggested maintenance of posture and breathing habits to be the most important factor in health and energy promotion. Every person with heart disease needs to read this carefully. Diaphragmatic or abdominal breathing is the proper way to respirate. Taking deep diaphragmatic breaths is necessary to get the oxygen-rich air deep into the base of the lungs, where 3 times as many blood vessels are available for respiratory exchange compared to the upper lung region. Amazingly, when we are taking deep breaths, our diaphragm, which is attached to the heart, is able to pull the heart down and massage it with each breath. This process optimizes the body's natural ability to pump fluid and nutrients into the heart vasculature and suck out the waste. In the absence of diaphragmatic breathing, the body is unable to adequately deliver nutrients and eliminate waste from the heart. A natural way to eliminate chronic pain and depression. The diaphragm is also attached to the lumbar spine and produces a natural rhythm of movement that stretches the back and pumps fluid and essential nutrients into the vascular soft tissue structures like the intervertebral disc and ligaments, preventing and possibly correcting spinal degeneration and chronic pain syndromes. The effects continue in that proper diaphragmatic movement pumps cerebrospinal fluid, the fluid around the spinal cord, which results in an increase in brain metabolism and resulting feelings of physical and mental well-being and enhanced alertness. Okay, like I say, that's about all I wanted to go through. Now I'm just going to give you kind of a quick little demonstration just on what I'm doing. Like I say, I've done deep breathing before. I've done a little bit of pranayama with various yoga teachers, but I just don't feel comfortable in really doing the practice on my own, and I would never try to teach anything related to pranayamic breathing. But I think this is pretty safe for everybody. You find a simple place, and you know what, if you're not comfortable sitting on the floor cross-legged, sit on the floor just with your legs, you know, you can have one crossed in front of the other. Sit in a chair. Do whatever you need to do, but try to have a upright posture. I even do this for meditation sometimes. Now my spine through yoga is getting stronger and I can sit upright for longer periods, but use a wall if you need to. Now what you're going to need to do is we're just going to breathe deeply. Now I've done breathing, so I'm probably going to do some very long breaths. If you've never done any deep breathing before, you know, you don't want to push it either. Like you don't want to inhale to an uncomfortable point. And basically we want to see some movement with our stomach. We're primarily, when we're breathing, when we're doing this deep breathing and being aware of our breath, we're breathing with the stomach first. We want to see, as we breathe in, you can even put your hand on your stomach. As we breathe in, we want the stomach to first expand, and as it fills, then the chest can rise a little, and even as when you get deeper, you'll even kind of feel it go all the way up into your shoulders. But for right now, just try to work on that. Put your hand on your stomach and just, you know, maybe close your eyes, because this can be sort of this is kind of a mix between the, you know, the healthiness of the breathing and the meditation, because even just being aware of your breath is a meditation in itself, but while you're learning, you really need to be this. So you want to just close your eyes and take a deep and just inhale slowly, but inhale from the diaphragm, inhale from down low down here, and feel that stomach expand. When you get to the top, when you've taken 4 or 5 count breaths in, count to 4 or 5 fairly slowly, almost like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't want to hold your breath. And then you start and then you start the opposite of that process. First your chest goes down a little bit, and it goes down, and the air goes out of your lung until the stomach is the last to go back flat or to go in. And you want to try to make your inhales and your exhales work towards that, to make them as even as possible. Don't work on any, because there's some advanced stuff down the road, but don't work on any. I think I can recommend all this and you'll stay safe. Don't do any breath holding. You know, there are some pranayama and there are different breathing exercises that work with holding the breath, but as a beginner, just start with that. Just start once a day or several times a day, because you can, when you're having stress, just slowing down, just the act of slowing down your breath will take that stress away, or will at least help with that stressful situation. So just start catching yourself. If you can't sit down and, you know, breathe for a period of time, catch yourself several times during the day. Just have your spine erect and just and, you know, make it something easy for yourself. Don't make it, you know, one of these routines where you're going to dread it or it's going to be tough to work it in. You know what? Start breathing for 5 minutes every day. It's going to be good for your head. It's going to be good for your body. You're going to feel after doing this for a while, you're going to feel more energized. And the more you work with your breath, if you really take this seriously and do some work with your breath, you're going to find that, like I think I read there, that subconsciously you're just going to start breathing that way, breathing deeper naturally, even when you're not sitting down to breathe. Anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. I hope you'll subscribe to the channel, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Peace.